golf fans, welcome back to another Tap In Fantasy Golf video. My name is Kyle and I'm the founder of Tap In Fantasy. Our main goal is to bring together the fantasy golf landscape to one platform with all of traditional fantasy, one and done, drafts, tiers, and salary-based games for golf, all a part of what we offer. Just a recap of why I've been absent the last few weeks. Those that aren't aware, an industry legend, all-around amazing person, James, better known as Degenerate75, sadly lost his battle with cancer about a month ago. It really hit me hard as he was part of the reason I got back into creating video content, golf content specifically. I would watch his videos every single week. It really just hit hard. And so please just have his family, friends, community, most importantly, in your thoughts and prayers, if that is something you do. As for my own personal reasons, I lost someone I consider to be a brother, best friend, a little over a week ago. Sean was also a co-founder with me in Tap In Fantasy, and while I will always miss him dearly, we will not let his impact and legacy go with him. He battled Duchenne muscular dystrophy since we were kids, and he has now passed on because of it. I love you, buddy, and we'll do whatever it takes to continue our mission of making Tap In a massive success. Please keep his family, friends, and those around him in your thoughts and prayers as well. So, all in all, James, Sean, you'll both be missed by many, and we hope you rest in peace. Now it's time to talk golf. We have the Travelers Championship at TPC River Highlands to go over. We will cover everything from weather and projections and ownership, all that fun stuff. So let's sit tight and let's just jump into golf. So again, we have the Travelers Championship this week at TPC River Highlands in Connecticut. It is an elevated event with a little over 70 golfers in the field. It is a no cut. So all these golfers are going to be playing the entire weekend. Anytime you get these elevated events, you're rarely ever going to see some sort of weather edge because they're all going to be going out between a 2 to 3 hour window. If there is going to be an edge this week, it'll probably be the AM PM group. They'll probably go off around 10 a.m. We don't have the tee times yet. And if you look right here for TPC River Highlands, at around 10 a.m., mid to low high teens with wind. And then it picks up considerably for the rest of the day. So I think they might be able to get in 2, 3, 4 holes in some favorable conditions before the PM wave is going to have like gusts up to 20 miles an hour all day. I think that's going to be kind of tough. Then you look at the flip side. For Friday, they'll be playing the PM, and they'll probably go off around 1. These guys in the AM, they're going to be seeing 20 mile an hour gusts for, I'd say, 80% of the round, if not the entire round. Whereas these 1 p.m. guys, it does tail off come later in the day. So I think they might be able to get, on the flip side, 3 or 4 holes at the back half of their round, as long as this holds, in some favorable conditions. We're not talking anything more than like half a stroke advantage, but it still could be something. So keep that in mind. Take it with a grain of salt because weather is always going to be changing. Definitely a big-time variable that we can't control. But there is kind of a chance. Again, it is a no-cut, so they're going to be playing the weekend, and the weekend looks sublime. So any of those guys in the PMAM can definitely make it up Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, flawless conditions. It might get baked out. It's going to be kind of tough to stick the green, and these are smaller greens, so that is another factor you got to take in. But I think just looking at there's barely going to be any wind. They're going to be scoring big time. And then Sunday, for sure, because Saturday night we're going to get some rains, and then it's going to be playing softer. I mean, this is set up for a 20 under or better winner. I think the key to success this week is going to be you got to hit the green. You got to be making your birdie putts, and you got to rack up where you can because it is a par 70. And it is tough to reach 20 under with a par 70 course, but I think it's doable just considering the conditions and how strong this field is. So that's it for weather. We will hop into projections, ownership, my model, some of my picks, and maybe a couple bets. So let's jump right in. All right, it's time to break down the data for the Travelers Championship. Going forward, all of my data will come from Rick Run Good and Data Golf. I strongly urge you guys to check both of them out, especially Rick Run Good. Hopefully one day, Rick, you'll be watching these videos and we can connect and you will be a supporter of Tap In Fantasy, but we will see. I'm looking at the last 36 rounds for my data, and for TPC River Highlands, approach, stroking, total, those are going to be your biggest buckets. And then going down a little bit, you're going to have to be more accurate than you are distance. So I'm weighting accuracy over distance. This is going to be a birdie fest. I don't think it's going to be playing hard at all, even with it being a par 70. So I put 10% of my weight in birdie or better. Then coming over to putting, the surfaces are bent grass, Poa, and Nua blend, so 5 and 5 there. And all the way down, I'm always going to factor in course history with these TPC courses. They usually have much stickier course history than other places, so I put 12 on TPC River Highlands. And last but not least, this is one of the shorter courses on the PGA Tour circuit, so I did 10 on short courses, and that makes up my entire model. No surprise at all. Scotty Scheffler is going to come in off the top. Before I really jump into all the data, I would love to sit here and talk about every single one of these golfers, but we only have about 20 or 30 minutes of your time and my time, so we might be rushing through a little bit of this. Just looking at my initial model, Daniel Berger coming in second is really going to stand out. The rest of the top 10 isn't really shocking. Shane Lowry is definitely popping. Keegan Bradley's definitely popping. I want to see Xander and Cantlay up there. Russell Henley, he's looking really good. He's coming in good form. The rest of it looks pretty standard. First 7K guy you see outside of Berger is going to be Siwoo. Jordan Spieth is actually looking fairly good, along with Vic. First 6K guy is going to be Bud Colley. Aaron Rye's definitely up there. Ryan Fox is definitely up there. Akshay, Pendrith, Harris English. Some guys that I'm really surprised are this far down, especially Spawn. I would love to sit here and talk about the U.S. Open. I thought it was an excellent showing of golf. Definitely a true test. And he prevailed with the walk-off in the 72nd hole. That was incredible. I'm shocked he's this low. Same with Bobby Mack. I mean, coming off of strong performances. I guess leading in, they really weren't in the best form, but we'll maybe look at them here in a little bit. Kevin Yu, for a 6K guy at above the midway point for the pack, is pretty solid. What are some other guys? Like Hideki being down here. I think he's kind of losing his steam. He's definitely a beginning of the season warrior. And that is, I mean, nothing else is really standing out for me. Maybe Adam Scott. So a lot of these guys that were in like the top half, I want to say, of the U.S. Open, they're kind of disappointing in the model, which is a little bit shocking. But again, this course is definitely going to favor accuracy, and you're going to have a strong approach game because smaller greens, and you're just going to have to make your putts. I mean, it's plain and simple. So, birdie or better. And that is it. Again, Nick Dunlap, I'm really, really interested to see when he is ever going to model anything outside of the last in these elevated events. I hope he can find his driver eventually. But anyways, that is the model. That's who's kind of standing out. Now let's look at ownership, and then my model scoring, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's break it down. Scotty Scheffler coming in. He models the best. I think he's in the best form of any of these guys in the entire tournament. I mean, he is rivaling his 2024 numbers. Sorry. I mean, there's absolutely no surprise. Like, he is going to be probably top 10 and everything. Kind of shocked. He doesn't putt well on these surfaces. He's not always the furthest, but he definitely is an accurate driver. But just all in all, I think he's a great option. If you can make him work, even at this ownership number. I think you can definitely get to him and feel comfortable with your lineups. The rest of the 10K range is actually really, really interesting to me. Rory, him coming out and saying that he kind of feels like he's like going down the mountain after winning his Masters. He really doesn't know what to play for, and that if Portrush for the Open isn't going to get him going, he doesn't know what will. I'm extremely leery of going to him. Yeah, he does model fairly well, but he's not an accurate driver, and you got to be accurate here. Accuracy definitely overcomes driving distance. He's good on short courses, and he's pretty good here. So, you know what? If the ownership's going to be this low, I'm all for it. I want to like Xander, but I don't think his game's really there right now. He gained in all 4 categories each of the last 2 weeks. But again, this driving accuracy really starting to scare me off. I'm a data guy. I'm a nerd when it comes to the numbers. And if this course is saying you need to be more accurate than long, I really don't know what to do with this. So it's a little bit concerning. He's very similar to Rory in the fact that he's pretty good at this course. He's good on short courses, but I don't know if I'm going to get there when I'm probably just going to go up to Scotty and figure it out from there. And then running out the 10K range, the guy that I'd probably be going to is Colin. I kind of want to look at his numbers. I don't think he finished all that well last week. 23rd. He gained across the board in everything. He just could not putt to save his life on those greens. I don't know if for 10K if this is going to get it done. I mean, he's really not in the greatest of form. I mean, you're going to need a top 10 finish out of 70 golfers for him. If you get a 23rd here, that's not going to work. 20th, no. Like, you really need a full-blown top 10 to make it happen. So I want to like him. His approach numbers and his course fit definitely are there. But he's not really coming in the best of form. So it's very, very interesting to see. And he doesn't putt well on these surfaces, which is extremely concerning. And he also doesn't have really the best River Highlands history. Let's look at that real quick. It's going to be all the way at the bottom. TPC River Highlands. There it is. So a T13, back-to-back missed cuts in 23 and 20, and then a 19 at T36. I don't know. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is I'm just going to go to Scotty and figure it out from there. And if I don't go to Scotty, I might just take the chance and just go down and load up on the 9 and 8K range because I love the 9 and 8K range. And hopefully you do too. So that's it for the 10K range. And looking at the 9K range, leading off with Patrick Cantlay. He's another one of those guys where I think he's good at a lot of things, but I don't think he's great at enough. He's great on short courses. He's really good at River Highlands, but this driving accuracy is really scaring me off. I mean, he's not even in the top 50% of the pack, and he's not hitting it far. The rest of the game is seemingly there, and he models fairly well, not incredibly well. But he's one I actually have some interest in. I'm passing Ludwig. Big fan of JT this week. I'm kind of shocked they went 98, 96, 93. It's a very short range. I was expecting more golfers to be in the 9K range, but yeah, I'm skipping Ludwig. JT has a lot of my interest. I don't think the numbers are really going to favor him, but he goes for it, even with the poor driving accuracy. And I know he missed the cut last week at the U.S. Open, or did he? Did he miss the cut? I don't think he was terrible. Yeah, he missed the cut. He was terrible around the green. Like, okay, it was one of those. Just he couldn't get anything going. And again, at that course, like if you're not accurate, you're not gonna get anywhere. And this is maybe part of the reason why I'm not gonna get there. He's definitely more in the distance category than accuracy, and this course really favors the accuracy side of things. So, you know what? I think I'm out on JT too. So I'm vibing with Cantlay. I'm not getting to Aberg, not getting to JT. Here's gonna be the guy that I'm gonna get to is Sepp Straka. He does not hit it far, but when you are top 10 in weighted strokes gained total, weighted strokes gained approach, birdie or better, driving accuracy, all things we are looking for this week, I'm gonna have some interest. Yeah, you're not the best at these putting surfaces, but you're above a 0. Maybe not the best at TPC River Highlands or short courses, but just the numbers itself really lend to Sepp being an amazing play this week. He's won twice on tour this year, and I just really like him. I think his salary is a really strong salary for him. He's coming in pretty solid form. Let's go ahead. I know we missed the cut last week, but it was all because of the putter. Yep, couldn't putt to save his life, and that's going to happen. He gained an approach and gained off the tee. That's what we're looking for. And right here, accuracy over distance. That's what we're looking for this week. So, I want to like Sam Burns. I think he's just back-to-back weeks of just utter disappointment. I don't think mentally he's going to bring it this week. Vic is kind of the same way. He was in the mix last week and then kind of crumbled, but he's not the most accurate. He's not that long. Birdie or better is kind of an issue. If this was a tough course, I would be all over Vic, but I don't think I'm going to get to him. So for me, it's really just going to be Sepp in the 9K range. Moving on to the 8K range, this is where I'm going to live or I'm going to die. I'm probably going to start with Scotty and then hop all the way down. And the one guy I'm going to be getting to is going to be Russell Henley. What do you need from this course? You need to be accurate. He's in the top 15. Weighted strokes gained total and approach, he's in the top 15. Yeah, he might not hit it as far, but that's not really that important. He is fifth in the field in short courses. He is pretty decent TPC River Highlands history. I am all over Russell Henley. When we get down to my bets, he is one of my favorite bets this week. But you'll see that in a minute. And then it's kind of odd that JJ Spawn is one. I'm shocked he is not modeling better for me. I think there's always going to be a hangover from majors. So why are you not modeling as well? Maybe it's one of those. He's just good at everything. Like, he never loses just a ton in one category. He either gains or he just barely misses. And then, like, this past week, he crushed it with the putter. I don't know how sustainable that is. At the Memorial, he really kind of sucked it up everywhere. Charles Schwab, he gained across the bag, but he never gained more than a stroke. He was just super consistent. And, I mean, just what in the model is really holding him back? He's not the best on short courses, not the best here, not the best on these putting surfaces. I just think, for me, 12% ownership, I would rather go up to Henley, who's like middle of the pack for this price range in ownership. Yeah, I'm out on Spawn. The next guy I'm going to be definitely in on is Keegan Bradley. He is, honestly, I genuinely think he could win here. Top 20 in both weighted strokes gained total and approach. He's a birdie or better guy. I mean, he's still gaining. He's fairly long. He's really accurate. Great at this course. Great on short courses. I mean, what more can you ask for? I think 14% ownership is just definitely tolerable. So I'll be all over Keegan. Bobby Mack, again, shocking that he's not modeling as well. I think it's his birdie or better. If it was a tough course, I'd be all over him. I just don't think this is really a good fit for him. Yeah, he's good here, which has a little bit of interest. Middle of the pack when it comes to driving accuracy. I just think I don't think he's going to be able to reach the score you need for him to win this week. You don't need him to win this week for him to be in your lineup. He could finish 15th, and that'd be more than fine. But when I'm getting to Henley and Bradley, it's going to be tough for me to get to Bobby Mack. Shane Lowry, he models fairly well. Great on approach. Great accurate driver. You know what? I'm thinking I'm going to get to some Shane Lowry, too. He's pretty good here, and he's pretty good on short courses. Might not putt the best on these putting surfaces, but sometimes you don't, that can come and go. So I'll be all over Shane. I'm not buying into anything with Jordan Spieth, not buying into Ben Griffin. I think that is it for me when it comes to the 8K range. Yep. That is pretty much it. Moving on to the 7K range, this is where it's going to get pretty variable, as you can see, like right here. Mid-teens in ownership, and then immediately when you get to the 7K range, it completely drops off, except for Cam Young, Matt McNeely, Daniel Berger, and some of these lower 7K guys. I'm not getting to a ton at the top. I think there are holes in their game that I'm not going to come around to. When you've got Cam Young, who is just projecting for a crap ton of ownership, that has such a poor model score, I'm not going to get there. I mean, he's not accurate. If this was, again, you got to go super low, but you need to be long off the tee, I'd be all for it. But he's not accurate. I don't think this is going to be it for him. He's coming in incredibly odd. I'm not going to get there. Harris English is a guy I've heard in a couple of videos. I think my biggest issue, again, he's not going to hit it far, and he's not going to score enough birdies. If this was one of those where you really need to grind it out, the winning score is like 8 to 10 under, I'd be all over Harris English. But he's not really in the cards for me. Putts decently on these surfaces, but that's about it. He's an accurate driver. That's positive. One of the big guys I'm going to get into, even though at higher ownership, is going to be Daniel Berger. Now, looking at his numbers, he is not coming in the best of form. And that is much due to, and you will see right here, he is not putting the ball well. This really strong stretch, he was putting the ball incredibly well up into the Masters and even up into the Heritage. I know he finished T3. But then the putter really tanked for him, and that's where the struggles have been. We finally gained with the putter again last week. Did it lead to a strong result? No, he was not the best around the green. That really held him back. But like you're looking right here, he is always an accuracy guy. He is going to be hitting fairways. He's great on approach. If we can just have this putting performance again, I mean, we are easily locked into another top 20 performance. Just looking at the rest of the numbers, he is top 25 in birdie or better, weighted strokes gained approach and total, accurate driver. He's pretty good here, and he's pretty good on short courses. Just sign me up. Aaron Rai is a guy I wanted to talk about. If we're going to be talking about driving accuracy, that's all he does. Top 20 in weighted strokes gained total and approach. I'm all for it, and he's got pretty good history here. Another kind of darling for the industry is going to be Akshay. He's going to come in at a pretty solid ownership. 10. I think this could creep up to about 15. I am fine with him as well. When you have to go low, he's all about that. Again, birdie or better when you're fourth in the field. It's definitely you got to take interest in. And he is had very strong success here. I think he was only going to play here once. If I remember looking, I think it was a top 10. Might be wrong. Yeah, T5 in last year. So I am fine with Akshay. I don't think I'm going to get a Clanton. I don't think I'm going to get well, actually, Clanton's interesting. When you've got everybody around him that's 5% or higher, and he's only 2%, but he's actually modeling fairly well. Again, birdie or better in driving distance are there, but good on Poe and no short course he's okay at. I think I'm fine with Clanton, but I'm not really going to get there. And the rest, if I remember correctly, the rest of the 7K range I'm not getting to at all until you get to the very bottom. Yeah. That I'm out on everyone from Poston all the way down to Harry Hall. It's just I'm not going to get there. Tom Kim, Ryan Fox, Jason Day. If I remember correctly, Tom Kim is very good at this course. He's fairly accurate. Ryan Fox is one of those. He's good at everything. He's not great at one thing. But when you're top 20 in all three of weighted strokes gained total, approach, and birdie or better, you're going to have my interest. He's always also top 20 in driving accuracy. And he's pretty decent on the Poa and Nua side. Not the best on short courses, but these four factors right here, I'm going to have some interest. And then Jason Day, I don't know why. My brain is just telling me play Jason Day. He's going to crush it. Birdie or better, he's there. When we got to go low, that's his shtick. Strokes gained, weighted strokes gained total, he's in the top 25, 26th. Big problem is he's not the most accurate, but he putts well on these surfaces. He's got some okay history here, and he's okay on short courses. I don't know why my mind is telling me to play Jason Day, but I'm going to be playing some Jason Day. So for the 7K range, just to kind of recap, I'm on Ryan Fox. I'm on Tom Kim. Clanton's fine. Akshay's fine. Rye's fine. I'm going to be all over Daniel Berger. And I'm skipping Cam Young at that ownership. I think that was it. Yep, that is it. All right, 6K range. I'm not seeing a lot. I'm just going to go over it real quick. Bud Colley is really the only guy that is popping for me in the 6K range outside of one that's way down below. Again, when you are top 20 in all of weighted strokes gained total, approach, and birdie or better over the last 36, you're going to have my interest. Is he accurate? Yep. I do not care about the rest of this. When you are paying under 7K for him and you need to get Scotty, I'm probably going to be playing him. He's pretty good on short courses. He's fine at this course. Sign me up. Tom Hoagie, there was one thing that had my interest. Again, he's an approach darling, and you kind of need the approach here, and he's fairly accurate. Doesn't do the rest. If this was a tough course, I'd probably be more on him. But he definitely has my interest. No. Kevin Yu, that was the next guy that I was going to get to. Again, right here, birdie or better, extremely strong. He's fairly good on approach. He hits it far and accurate, which is actually really something you're going to need. Does he putt well on these surfaces? Heavens no. That's going to be my biggest deterrent. And he's not good on short courses, but he scores birdies, and he's an accurate driver for just 6,400. I'm fine with it. Matty Schmid, there was one thing he popped in. Two things. Again, he hits it far, but he scores birdies. Problem is he doesn't hit it accurately. If he can finally somehow hit his driver straight, I think he'd be fine because he's really good at putting on these surfaces. He's one to keep an eye on. And then I think it was Lucas Glover. Yeah, Lucas Glover. He's a very accurate driver. Really good on approach. The numbers say he's not good on short courses, but you'd think he'd actually be good on short courses. I have a little bit of interest there. I wanted to like Eric Cole because the only thing he's good at is short courses, but I don't think I'm going to get there. And then the last one that I think I had a little bit of interest in, it wasn't Brian Campbell. Was it? No, it was. It was Brian Campbell. He's an accurate driver. That's really what he's got going for him. He scores birdies and he's fairly good on approach. I think the icing on the cake was he's a good bent grass putter, and he's fairly okay at short courses. Does he have any history at TPC River Highlands? No, he's a completely different player. But for the stone minimum, I think like it's a solid bet. I mean, if he finishes like 30th, you'd be happy for just playing 6K. So just an overall recap of what I'm liking. Fine with Brian Campbell. Lucas Glover has my interest. Kevin Yu has my interest. Going all the way back up. Bud Colley's going to be the guy in the 6K range I like the most. Tom Hoagie I'm fine with. The bottom of the 7K range with Fox, Day, and Tom Kim. I favor Ryan Fox the most at the bottom. Day's just speaking to me, but I also like Tom Kim. He's got good history here. Luke Clanton's fine. Batia's fine. Rye's fine. Love Daniel Berger a ton. I'm not going to get to Cam Young at that ownership. I think it's ridiculous. 8K range, really like Shane Lowry. Really like Keegan. Really like Henley. That's where I'm going to be living for this entire tournament. 9K range, love Sepp. JT I wanted to love, but just I can't get down to it. The top of the 9K range with Cantley I'll get to. Then I'm going to get to Colin, and I really love Scotty. So that is going to be it for me when it comes to DraftKings plays, modeling, all that stuff. We're going to look at a couple bets real quick. I wonder if it's saved. Yes, it did, because I didn't log in. 3 favorite bets. We're going to start off with the non-winner ones. If you look at matchups on DraftKings, everything I do is going to come from DraftKings. That's really where I'm exclusively living. Round 1, 2-ball, you have Daniel Berger versus Sam Stevens. I think minus 140, Daniel Berger over Sam Stevens is just a little too good of a price for me when you have Daniel Berger as the second in your model, and I'm pretty sure Sam Stevens is bottom 10. I'm going to take advantage of that for sure. I think we could go into a ton of the data behind it, but I've talked enough about Daniel Berger, and I'm not getting Sam Stevens. So sign me up for round 1, Daniel Berger over Sam Stevens. The next one, if you go to top finish, I'm going to be getting to Russell Henley, top 20. He is back-to-back top 10s. He might be a little bit hit or miss, but like I said, I think he really checks every box you want. Where was he in here? He's 11th in my model. Top 15 in weighted strokes gained total and approach. He's an accurate driver. He's good at this course, and he's really good on short courses. I think that's the exact formula you need this week to contend. So top 20 for me when it comes to Russell Henley. It's going to be a bet I'm making. And plus money, that as well. Oddly enough, there's a lot of guys that are hovering around that even money that I would be really, really interested in. Sepp's another one. Keegan's another one. But Russell Henley's the big one. Same with Berger. Russell Henley's the big one I'm going to be going for because I do think there's some downside with Berger on his putting. And Keegan and Sepp, I think, are also fine numbers. But Russell Henley's the one I'm going to be getting to in the top 20 market. And then my outright, I'm going to be taking Keegan Bradley this week. I think that's the best number you get on the board. A lot of people in the industry might disagree, but I love Keegan this week. I think he's set up incredibly well. Just looking back at the numbers again, he is 5th in my model. He is top 25 in birdie or better, top 20 in approach, top 5 in weighted strokes gained total. He's an accurate driver and he hits it far enough. But he's had a lot of success at this course before. He even has a win back, I think it was 2 years ago, and he's pretty good on short courses. Again, the formula for this week to take advantage of this course. So that is it for me for the Travelers Championship at TPC River Highlands. Just be sure to like, subscribe to the video. Everything in the description about what Tap In Fantasy is all about. Again, that'll be down in the description. So that is it for me. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.